Hi, everyone. So my name is Sam. It's an honor and privilege to be here today. And perhaps more than honor and privilege is more of a blessing to be here because 5 days before my trip to London, I really thought I couldn't make it. One reason is KulaDAO was really low on funding. And while I was clicking the economy class ticket, I was hoping for a lower class, like the cargo, so we can save some money coming here. Secondly we've been waiting for our jurisdiction license for about 2 years, and it was delayed once again. So the whole team was really, down and kind of depressed. But then 4 days before coming out here, in the morning, we got a call saying one of the jurisdictions seems to be okaying us and giving us a pre-approval. So that kind of cheered us up a little bit. And then the second phone call came in saying that we got KYC'd by a Swiss bank. And it looks like we're going to get a banking account. And we're like, oh, that's even better. And then the third call came in saying somebody committed $200,000 a month until we launch. And that was before lunch, right? So thank you. So after lunch, now hold your applause. After lunch, another call came in and said one of our other co-founder, Micah, pitched to somebody many months ago, and that person is sending in $500,000. And then there's one more call saying that there are two smaller investors coming in with $50,000 each, and add that number together, it's like 1.2, which is exactly the number we talked about for our budget. One investor's son is putting in $1,000 of his own, so now we have a margin of safety. So it is really wonderful. I'm sharing that with you because I'm very certain many of us sitting here and our online friends are experiencing the same thing, right? It's like this sine wave up and down, but rest assured we're doing work for God, and the Lord watches over us and He provides. So thank you. I want to go into this thing about carving the KulaDAO space. Literally, I really feel like we're just carving something like out of nothing, and we're making a little corner for ourselves. So first is my job is to shock everybody into this shocked state about all the tech stack and everything, and then we'll invite Chris and Stuart over here to kind of calm everybody down. So let me start with a shocking slide here about the tech stack. So this is actually one of our first patents we're applying for, is to use IoT and deepin with AI model to dynamically price some sort of ground asset or underground asset. Because if you look at the RWA, the real-world asset-backed token, many of which the assets are already in the purified form, which means they reflect either the spot price or the commodity futures price. And that means there's really no upside room for it to move unless the entire industry moves or the trend moves. For us, though, we are tokenizing the ground asset, such as water or underground asset. What that means is we can retain the upside for investors, and we can save early investors about 2 to 3 years of return time. So that's quite interesting for us. And also because of the regions we work in, we're doing impact investment. These underground assets are super important. That's where the communities live. And Chris will talk more to it, but because of this asset that they sit on, many times they get kicked out of their homes because somebody else comes in to mine the asset that's underground. Part of it is really due to the legal system. Many countries in Africa, for example, the right to land is separate from the right to own the asset that's underground. So it's like, somebody come in, like a huge mining company, they will start mining saying, well, you don't have to move, but do you really want to live in a place where there's a huge digger right outside your window, right? So they're being forced outside of their homes. So that's the first slide I want to share with you. It's about RWA-backed, the first DAO-governed RWA-backed asset tokenization platform is being realized by the work that we're doing. The second thing is carving a space in the regulatory landscape. We are going to become the first regulated DAO with ground asset. So first of all, for the ones that don't know what a DAO is, it stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization, which I completely disagree with. It's to me, it's really kind of like a semi-autonomous and kind of really not autonomous, like decentralized and semi-autonomous organization. So we're actually trying to come up with a better word for it, maybe some kind of blockchain-based governance, like Chris was suggesting. So we're hoping to create a word for it. So the only like letter that's true on this is the organization part. So we're going to be a regulated organization on the blockchain with tokenized ground asset. And becoming a regulated organization is truly important to us. One is the founders don't really want to go to jail, right? Second thing is any organization coming to us, then if they were to choose to kind of list their token or something, their token will be regulated. But we will not do so until probably many, many years down the line. And also through this work, I have never dreamed of being put in front of regulators across multiple continents from Switzerland all the way to Dubai to talk to them about DAO regulation. And many of whom are like, we never encountered a project like this. We don't know how to regulate you guys. Can you help us to create the set of regulation for the DAOs to come? So we feel like this is truly important. And that's another thing where I really feel like, God put us in front of kings and such, and they might not be kings, but they are regulators. So it's also important. So I'm really glad to be doing this work with the regulators. And for us, we designed a token that for our regional projects that we invest in, we create tokens for them. So token equals equity, and 20% of our regional DAO tokens will be given to the community. And this is not about giving them money. So I think like money without governance or anything really leads to greed, and that's not a good thing. Especially with people like who are making like say $1 a day or something. You all of a sudden you give them, oh, here's a $10,000, congratulations. That normally doesn't lead to anything good. This is about giving them this realization that they can actually have a voice in the entire process to decide, one, should their underground asset be mined? If so, how much and how to do so, right? A lot of times the process of purifying gold is using like really damaging chemicals to their ground. We have witnessed children playing on these leftover things that's like a piled up in the mountain, a very dangerous situation. So we want to avoid that. And to give them this realization is really kind of like making them kind of human again in that sense. So it's really cool. Thank you. Finally, I want to touch upon this thing called a double DAO. It's something we created where, so for example, a project in Zambia coming to us with their mine, we will create a DAO for them. We call them regional DAO. And obviously, a few other places like Malaysia, for example, which we're going to next month with the timber project. So we'll create DAOs for each and every one of them. But a lot of times these one-off DAOs don't work because there's really no kind of central organization to help them along the journey. So for KulaDAO, it's really the DAO in the middle or on top, however way you want to view it, that get to provide that expertise. For example, in financing or in debt collateralization or any kind of governance. So we decided why not make the top organization a DAO as well. So that's why it's called a double DAO. And the point here is there's a scale in the middle where it kind of, you can dial between centralization versus decentralization. And I think before this, many people think it's like a binary thing. It's either completely centralized or completely decentralized. But it's not exactly true in our view. And I want to make a kind of a like in parallel to this, I feel like our churches are kind of like a double DAO system, where if you look at Catholic Church, perhaps the top DAO is more centralized. And the revolution came for Christian church because we make it decentralized, where everybody can now talk to God like directly, without a centralized entity. So I really believe this is what kind of we're honoring God in this kind of a system. So this is pretty much my slide, and our website, KulaDAO.io, and this is our handle over here. Thank you.